This is Sparta!
Thank you. Oh, it's the only source of food since the mill burned down. Let's go fix lighting in a place where lighting gets fixed. And, purple! Taxi! Mother. Whew! He a big boy. He a very big boy. Son of a bitch. Stop towards me. I don't know, but I've been told you guys touch every toe. Wow, that was an abrupt transition. Hello, welcome to the stream. How is everybody doing? Am I even talking? Yes, I am. Cool, I'm being picked up. Sweet. Because if it's the latter, he can't put his controller upside... No, I can't put my controller upside down if I'm talking. Ha 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 ha. Ha. Oh, hang on. Could I do the mic upside down? Do that? To be honest, that actually just looks completely natural. Just talk... How have you got 40k points? And why... Oh, the microphone's drooping. Oh, that looks... Don't read too much into that. You hear me, you see me, that's good. Let me know if things get a bit choppy, because of course I'm away. Yes, it's a bit weird. It's a new one for me. I don't normally do just chat and stuff. Good to see you here, by the way. Bye Bodger, Honey Bodger, Body Podger, you know who you are. Fuck my life. Well, I'm just going to jump straight in here, because obviously I'm away, so things are going to be a little bit different on stream for a little bit, for the next few weeks at the very least. I can't do as many games as I'd like to. I can probably still do a little bit of Among Us, and I plan to at the end of, well, I won't say at the end of the stream, because it'll be probably approximately half of the stream. I don't know, probably more. Who knows? We'll find out, because I don't know how long I can talk for. But for the next few weeks anyway, I'm away from the Xbox, I'm away from the PC, so things are going to be a little bit different till after Christmas. If you'd care to hop in and play a little bit of Among Us with me at any point, just come and join us in the duck pond. Hop in. Water's lovely, despite the fact that it's winter. Just drop a sub on the channel. Come be a part of the Discord, which Emily, please whack those into the chat now. And be a part of some of the community games that are hopefully starting this Thursday. I plan to start them this Thursday. Plan being the key word. So, how is everyone? How are we all doing? Are we good? No, nobody's good. I forget there's a delay, isn't there? So I can't exactly just go bang, how are you? Hope for the response to be immediate. Just doesn't work like that. It's not like a conversation. Can't do that. But I say I'm away from my Xbox, right? But where am I? What? Obviously, I can't just be away from the Xbox. I could be away from the Xbox being in the other room. So, you know, what am I doing? Where am I? Well, I'm down at a theme park, and I'm here with a good friend, actually, very very good friend of mine, who, if you've been following my social media profiles like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that stuff, you might already have been introduced. But I would like to introduce you to him today, if you haven't seen him already. But before I do that, there is a little bit of a story to tell. Okay, and that's about the last time I was here at the park. So last time I stayed here was around about Halloween, and to put it bluntly, I had some tent troubles. I was camping, and I had some tent problems. Okay, so I brought 2 tents down with me, and they were both, let's call them inadequate. Um, one decided that it was appropriate to like rain inside. The other one was just tiny, so I was really, really cramped. And a friend of mine happened to be kind enough to go home and get his bigger tent so that I could stay in the one that he'd have brought with him. But it didn't stop there. Okay, I started posting about bigger and bigger tents, eventually moving myself into a circus tent where I met some lovely circus sideshow acts and an elephant called Voorhees. Now my stay with them was turbulent to say the least. I've got to be honest. Some caravanners took offence to our presence, and well, war broke out. It was bloody, it was brutal, but in the end, we came out on top. And at the end of the Halloween season, I said goodbye to my new friends and headed home. And Voorhees came with me, my good old elephant friend. It was a bit hectic at first because obviously he had to stay outside due to his massive size. But after he got properly filthy on a walk, he had to get a wash. And he shrank in the dryer. How did we get an elephant in the dryer? Long story, not going to tell it. So, at least he's now able to stay inside, and I've had a few actual decent pictures with him. And so, I would like to introduce you all to Voorhees the elephant. Say hello. There he is, having a little wave. This is Voorhees. He's sticking with me while I'm here at the park. And everything is fine. No, the old one it's just turned off, hasn't it? Oh no, what's happened? Hang on, let's see if we can get it to work. Social should, but I didn't deactivate it. I added more to it. How has the socials command just gone so wrong? Doesn't matter. The Linktree link has all of the social links in anyway, including me TikTok. So that's. I was going to say, what the hell happened there? I was wondering if that had broken as well, but it doesn't matter. It's all cool. It's all good. But say this is Voorhees. There's nothing happened. It's fine. I'm a bit angled up here. There we go. So this is my good friend Voorhees the elephant, and I mean, what else was an elephant called Voorhees going to look like? You know what I mean? He's probably going to join us a little bit later for Among Us, because apparently he has experience in stabbing. He hasn't explained that to me, and quite honestly, I don't like the look he's giving me right now. So, yeah, bit worried about that. But he'll join us for a little bit of Among Us later on, so stick around for that. But for now, he's going to sit out of sight. He's just going to listen in. He's got massive ears, and if I say anything wrong, he will remember. So, what am I doing here? That's the thing. Why have I decided to stream when I can't really do many games? Because I'm an idiot, mostly. But honestly, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk about something specific. I wanted to talk, and you've probably guessed by the title already, about Cyberpunk 2077. Now, just to get this straight out there, I haven't played the game yet. So I'm literally coming at this as somebody who has not experienced the game for himself, and I've read some articles, I've read some reviews. Well, I haven't read a lot of reviews. I want to do that today. I'm going to go on to Metacritic and see about the reviews they've compiled. I want to look at a couple of the user reviews on there as well. As some of you may know as well, I am on the Gamecreator.com. I'll just whack that in there as well. I write reviews and opinion pieces on the Gamecreator.com, and we have a Cyberpunk 2077 deep dive coming on there. So go check them out. Keep your eyes open, and hopefully we'll have a big in-depth review on there. But today I wanted to look at what other people have been saying. No, I'm not going to put that one in the link tree yet, because I'm not really sure if I can. Haven't really asked that yet, so I'll just direct people to it instead. That'll be fine. I'm sure I can do that, right? I really, for anybody who is joining us from my last couple of streams, I've been really enjoying playing a little bit of Stardew Valley, and I cannot wait to get home and play a little bit more. But again, I'm getting off topic here. Let's have a look at some of the stuff that people have been saying about Cyberpunk 2077. So if you don't know about it already, where the hell have you been? Under a rock? So let's have a look at the summary. What is Cyberpunk 2077? It is an open world action adventure story set in Night City, a megalopolis. No, it isn't. It's megalopolis. Wow, what a word. Can't try saying that 5 times. Just in general. Don't need to be drunk. Obsessed with power, glamour and body modification, you play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant that is the key to immortality. Okay, that sounds very fantasy, actually. Why can't you custom... Don't worry, we will get there. Linktree is awful, it triggers me so much. As a web developer, I am not amused. Well, come up with a better one, throw it my way, and I'll use it. But until then, I've got Linktree. So, right, that's Cyberpunk. But what have people been saying about it? Like, it's got some mixed reviews. That's putting it mildly. It's had a very, very mixed reception. So let's have a look here at some of the scores. So Steam has said that Steam's got a score of 7 out of 10. IGN has scored it 9 out of 10. And Metacritic, their overall score is 90, because they've gone back to their out of 100 rating system rather than the out of 10. But that's from the critics. The critics are giving it 90, and that's how they've worked that out as an average. But users have only scored it 6.8. So I want to have a look on Metacritic now at some of the reviews, both from critics and from users. So I'm going to head on over there. Have you seen the size of my vagina on Cyberpunk? Oh, he's actually going to make one. I've challenged him. It's happening. We're going to get a better one, and he's going to. What's it going to be called? What are you calling this new Linktree-esque thing? While I get loaded up. Here we go. So, banging. So we're on Metacritic right now, and I'm just going to read a couple. I'm going to read a couple from the top. I'm going to actually, because they put the top ones, the best scores at the top, and obviously the worst ones at the bottom. I'm going to read 2 from the top and 2 from the bottom. Okay, so we've got from Playzine. Theirs was on December the 8th. They say it's buggy and flawed on many technical but very fixable levels, but Cyberpunk 2077 is a unique and beautiful experience on almost all other levels. All in all, a masterpiece. Which, that's a bit weird, I'll be fair. Yeah, it's weird that they would call it a masterpiece despite its flawed nature, and I feel like that is that's. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me. Speak up in the chat if you do, but I feel like giving them a pass on releasing something buggy like that and still giving it 100 isn't good. I don't think they should give a game developer a pass for a buggy release. I don't care how fixable they are. It still perpetuates that fixing in post attitude that this industry has gone into, and I'm not sure I'm okay with that. But that's Playzine. They've given it 100. Digital Spy has also given it 100. They say Cyberpunk 2077 is a fantastic game that we have never experienced before, and is a window into the future of next-gen gaming and what it's capable of. We are addicted to its world and everything in it, and we don't mind risking our reputation saying that it's easily our game of the decade, despite it missing out on the Video Game Awards for 2020. This is a brutal, visceral world to live in, where death seeps through the concrete jungle and every job you take on feels like the beginning of your dark end in this unforgiving landscape. Yet every time we complete a quest and receive some Eurodollars for our effort, we find ourselves itching to rush back into the danger and discover what other horrors await us. So that's a really good review. They've clearly gotten massively immersed in that. Get andymabon.tech. You've made a website for me. Oh, amazing. Check that out. COVID, but Leon is a poohead who can't make a basic HTML page with some links in it. You suck. Wow, okay. Come at me. I mean, that's just harsh. I mean, not wrong with people with blooming Down syndrome, man. They're some of the most caring people in the world. Boo to you. F in chat for you. Although, fair play, I don't know how to use HTML. But what the fuck was I talking about? Anyway, yes, Metacritic. Sewer. Digital Spy, Playzine, both 100. Okay? That's good stuff. But we're going to scroll down because they have an average of 90. Which is weird because I'm seeing a lot of 100s here. So obviously the ones at the bottom are a little bit worse off for us. Scrolling past a lot here, we've got down into 80s. Now here we are, we're on their mix. So their bottom two currently of ones that have been released and published are on GameSpot and GamesBeat. So start with GameSpot first. Your mileage may vary, but in our experience the bugs are obtrusive and substantial across the board, often forcing us to reload saves or exit the game entirely. It's hard to get really into a world you constantly have to leave. But then it's hard to get into Cyberpunk 2077's world in general. So much of it is superficial set dressing, and there's so much happening all around you. Ads going off at all times, gunfights breaking out in the streets, text coming in about cars you'll never buy. That a lot of the game feels superfluous. The side quests and the characters they showcase are the shining beacon through the neon-soaked bleakness of Night City, and they give you room to explore the best the core RPG mechanics have to offer. These are what carried me through an otherwise disappointing experience. And I think, yeah, please get rid of the picture of the lad with Down syndrome, because I've known some really bloody intelligent people with Down syndrome. They're not stupid. There we go. So I'm thinking that's quite the review. I think they're, from what I'm hearing, a lot of the and this depends really on the platform that you play this on. I've heard quite a few stories of people who've had the game bug out entirely, had it crash, whether they're on PC, whether they're on console. But from what I'm hearing, the worst experience that you can have is on the PS4 and the Xbox One, because it's just horribly optimized. Textures apparently don't load in, assets don't load in, the frame rate can drop as low as 15 frames per second. So really, if you've got one of those games, it's easy to see why people are frankly pissed off about it. On PS5 and Xbox Series X, it's not as bad, but it's still not perfect. So from what I'm getting, the best experience that you can get, the optimum experience, is on PC, and that still has some bugs. So GameSpot's review, there's been a bit of, I'm pretty sure, I was having this conversation last night with somebody, and they were telling me that they gave this review on GameSpot. Yes, there it is. Just about to mention this. GameSpot did a 40-minute review on YouTube where the reviewer admitted they didn't try a lot of the game, They didn't touch any of the crafting aspect because she didn't feel like it. I was literally just about to mention that, so thank you. There we go. Just going to reposition myself a bit. Not used to sitting cross-legged. This is a new experience for me. I'm normally in a chair, whereas at the minute I'm cross-legged on a sofa. All new experiences for us all. So yeah, there's apparently been a bit of uproar about their review because they gave it to somebody who just doesn't play open world RPGs. They're more into their things like Animal Crossing, which nothing wrong with Animal Crossing. It's a cracking little game, but if your main experience with games is Animal Crossing and those kind of games, you probably shouldn't be reviewing something massive, an open world like Cyberpunk 2077, unless you're coming at it as an outsider to review it as an outsider. No, I'm not talking crap about Animal Crossing. It's a great game, and frankly, I feel like it deserved to have Game of the Year. It didn't. It went to The Last of Us 2, bafflingly. A game that, quite honestly, it was nothing. There's nothing new about it. It was the same game as The Last of Us 1, just a continuation of the story. So if you enjoyed The Last of Us 1, you'll enjoy The Last of Us 2. But other than that, it was really pretty much the same as any other cover-based shooter. Well, stealth-based cover-based shooter, I guess. But it was, yeah, not sure I agreed with that. I'll get into my my opinions on Animal Crossing and why it should have been the game of the year another time. But for now, I want to read this last one. Yeah, I know they talk to each other constantly, and apparently they've all got names and everything, and it's a lovely touch. But come on, it was the same game as the last one with maybe a couple of technological upgrades, and I don't feel like that gives it the right to get Game of the Year again. It's the same game as before. Anyway, digressing. Games Beat, they gave it 60. They were not happy. I think that Cyberpunk 2077 delivers the big budget game thrills that many people are looking for, but it falls short at a few key areas for me, and a lot of that comes as a byproduct of its ambition. So what they reckon is it's gone and been an Icarus, flown too close to the sun, and it's not fared well. Well, okay, look, I'm not saying that The Last of Us is a bad game. Not saying that at all. Also, I really wish I was streaming at the time I played The Last of Us 1, because Christ almighty, Emily scared the shit out of me. It was a part in the first one where you're hanging upside down in a warehouse. You're literally caught hanging upside down, and there's a clicker comes running in, and I didn't kill it in time. So it, it latches on, it bites me, it kills me. But at the exact moment that it grabbed me, Emily behind me just went on my back, and I shot out of my fucking skin. It it was the scariest fucking thing of my life, because I was just so immersed in the moment. I was already panicking like shit, and then oh man, oh dear, flashbacks, horrible stuff. Again, I'm not saying The Last of Us is a bad game. I also, technically speaking, can't talk too much about The Last of Us 2, because again, I haven't played it. I'm going by gameplay that I've seen and from reviews that I've read and watched. So, with that being said, a bit of a disclaimer, what I viewed is nothing new from the original. Literally nothing new. And I don't see how they should reward the same game effectively with the same award twice when better games have come out since. But that's my opinion. Well, actually, hang on. The there was another category, wasn't there? There was the People's Choice Award, effectively, or Gamer's Choice. Yes. Now, again, I think it comes down to taste on Game of the Year, but it was Ghost of Tsushima that won the Gamer's Choice Award, wasn't it? Pretty sure that's where that won. I mean, even Hades got quite a big... It got a shout out at the Game Awards from the Gamer's Choice Awards. And Hades is, again, that's like a isometric top-down dungeon crawler. I think it's very... What's the word? It's roguelike. But with a story about Greek mythology. And, wow. From what I've heard about that, it deserves a shout. And I will definitely play that on stream if I can get a hold of it. So let me know in the chat if you'd like to see that on stream, because I will happily play that game for the first time on here. So yeah, that was Metacritic. That was the Critic reviews. They've put that at a 90, and this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. It's very mixed. We've had mixed outings here, and it's mostly to do with the bugs. But I'll get to that in a moment, because I want to talk. I want to read now for the first time some of the user reviews. So I'm going to get rid of the critics one now. Okay, don't need that tab. Don't need that tab. And I've got something to talk about here on the next tab, so I'll open that up in a bit. So here we go. So user score distribution. This is based on 12,678 ratings. A lot of negative, some mixed, but mostly positive. So it's still a 6.8. Okay, I'm not going to put a rating on because I can't. That's, you know. Here we go. So we'll do the same. We'll go from the top. I'll read a couple at the top. But... Oh, hello. No, they haven't organised this quite as well. So what we'll do is I'll read these top two. These are 10s. We'll read a few of these ones out, I think. So... Podzian says, best game of this decade, sprawling, captivating world, breathtaking wink graphics. Don't know what the wink's about. I'm fully immersed since day one. This game has what I like to call just one more mission syndrome. Can't get enough of it. Okay, I can kind of I can relate to the one more mission syndrome. I've done that a lot, specifically with XCOM 2. That's the I'll just do one more. You know, oh, this one's just a short mission. I'll just do this one. I think I did it with Fallout 4 as well. It's just like, right, okay, I'll get through this bit and then I'll turn it off for the night. So I should go to bed. And then I find myself completing an entire story thread. Or Red Dead Redemption 2, where I did that and went, right, just one more bit, and then it was dawn. So that's one more mission syndrome is a dangerous thing. Kadzitas gave it a 10 as well. They said the game is more than I ever hoped for, which is, wow, okay, considering the hype that it's had over the last, was it 5 or 6 years? Yeah, PS4 version is the worst. Yeah, I've heard that that's where all the real bad frame rate issues exist. 2.5 rating on PS. Wow, that's awful. Jesus. Yeah, so Kadzita says the game's more than they ever hoped for, which is wow, considering the hype. But deep storyline, engaging quests, and branching choices. Shooting is very reminiscent of Borderlands 3. Well, that's just turned me off it. Very lootery, way more than I expected. Anyway, although far from perfect tech-wise, for sure it will be ironed out in the near future. And again, that raises a point that I really don't like. Fix it in post syndrome. I don't want that. The industry needs to get off of that horse. They need to really burn that bandwagon to the ground, because it's not good. They shouldn't be releasing a buggy, crappy mess and then fixing it later. They should fix it before they release it. But, you know, we've conceded far too much ground, and thanks to EA and their feckin' loot boxes, people forgot about the fix it in post stuff, and it became normalised. So, fuck you, EA, you bastards. Anyway, we'll talk about EA in a bit, actually, because I have something I want to say about that. But it's actually a positive for a change. Here we go. They've dropped now. I believe their user ones are out of 10 rather than out of 100. So these aren't all like terribly low scores, just for the record. So 4, that is still a negative. I'm not going to try and pronounce their name. This person. Oh no, I've clicked on their profile. That was the wrong... No, we don't want to go on your profile. Tech issues. This is what happens when you do things live, folks. Starts that off strong. I was deceived. This is not the game that I was shown in the trailers. It would be better if all the millions spent on marketing would be spent on programmers. Would invest better in game development. The graphics are terrible. The game does not work well on powerful video cards, and the textures are of poor quality. If you briefly describe the graphics, you get 1. Soap. 2. Poor quality. Poor quality textures. 3. Blueness in lighting. 4. Plastic graphics. I wonder what console they played that on, or if it was a console. Also, they've gone into Russian, so I appreciate them actually translating their thing into English. That was very nice of them. In general, the graphics are very much like Fallout 4 for me, if you look closely at the textures. At the end of 2020, the new generation game has no reflections in mirrors on computers. A shame. I've heard that. I have heard that people are unable to see reflections occasionally. But it's not a part of the game. They didn't neglect to put them in. In fact, that is a big feature of the game, that you can see reflections, and they're real-time reflections. I believe the same holds true for Spider-Man Miles Morales as well. I digress though. A shame. The city is trying to seem alive, but in fact it is dead, heavily scripted, very limited. He is only in the role of scenery. Not sure what that means. Damage numbers flying away from the enemy, greatly enrage. Highlighting opponents is also annoying. It feels like another grind game from Ubisoft. Cars are simply uncontrollable. Okay, I feel like this is going to go on for a little bit. So, safe to say, they didn't like it. They were not happy. And that's a 4. So I'm going to find a mixed one. Someone in the... bloody hell, there's a couple of zeros there. Wow, okay, so these go down, and they just seem to get worse. Actually, I'm gonna have a look at this 0 up here. Spency Boy. Pros, great art design, great music, arguably the best marketing ever for any video game. Not sure that's a pro for a game, to be quite honest. Cons, the RPG elements are incredibly boring or just non-existent. You can't customize your character that much. Clearly CD Projekt Red exaggerated what you could actually do. Dialogue is poorly written. Bugs, game breaking to visual. Okay, now the one thing I've not heard is that characters have little customization, and I've also heard that dialogue is absolutely amazing. So I feel like this might be one of those that's a little bit weird. Sony and Microsoft are offering refunds even if you have played past the 2-hour playtime. Yes, I've heard that. Apparently people are very, very, very upset. And they're at the point now where they're just like, nah, I'm done. Refunds, please. And Sony and Microsoft are giving them out. So what do you guys think? Has anybody, obviously apart from you, Jay, anybody here played it yet? Has anybody played Cyberpunk? What's the worst bug you've encountered, if any? Or what's the worst thing that you have heard about the game if you haven't played it? Is this the first time that you're actually experiencing anything to do with the game? I mean, I would love to do this on stream, but I can't because apparently they've left a lot of copyrighted music in the game, and there is no option to turn it off. So I am not streaming this game. Even if I get it, I won't be streaming this. I might do a Let's Play on YouTube, or I could stream it on YouTube, I guess. Let us know if you'd like that. You can turn it off now. Oh, you can turn it off now. Oh, okay. Okay, well, if we can turn it off, let me know if you'd like to see that, and I will see if I can get hold of a copy at some point. But I only have an Xbox One and a PC that's, I wouldn't say could do it at its best graphical settings. I would probably have to have low graphics. So let me know if you want that. Help me out. I'm trying to keep everything within Twitch that I do on Twitch, like, paid for by Twitch, if that makes sense. So if you haven't already, please drop us a sub. Help me out. Really, really good stuff. I'm trying to get everything going on in my Discord as well. For, don't know why Voorhees is up here. He just wants to say hello. There you go. So come join the Discord as well. We've got some community nights coming up. Hopefully starting this Thursday, I'm going to be playing some Among Us. So if you want in on that, drop us a sub, join the Discord, and we'll have a laugh. Be fun. But yeah, I'll see if I can get a hold of a copy of Cyberpunk 2077, and we will do a little bit of that on stream. But it won't be for a while. I'm not going to lie. But the bandwagon will have it. It'll be miles down the road by the time I get hold of it, because I am a very, very skint person, or poor, as Jacksepticeye would put it. No, actually, Jacksepticeye would put it as haha poor. So cracking. Thank you for that. So yes. That is what people have been saying in general. That's what they've been saying in terms of... Oh God, hang on. Here we go. Here's one about PS4 specifically. It's another 0 from Ben14 Dallas. PS4 version is trash. I would never expect such a thing from CD Projekt. Don't buy it. It's lost money. Wait for the discount and updates. Game's unplayable. When you drive a car, the game goes to 15 to 20 frames per second. Ow. That's bad. Now, to be honest, I feel like a lot of it is... There was some problems over at CD Projekt Red in the development, and I appreciate that they kept pushing it back and pushing it back and pushing it back until they were like able to release it in an acceptable standard. But I think it got to a point where they were pushing it back so much that they put pressure on themselves. What they should have done is pushed it back to a point where they could actually fix it. So like when it released on December the 10th, what they should never have announced any of the other late release dates. They should have just pushed it back. I would have waited till next year, because from what I'm hearing, they rolled out a lot of fixes pretty quickly, which is great. I like the fact that they've been so on the ball with it. I don't like the fact that they didn't do it before the game launched, especially considering how quickly they rolled these out. It already looks like they could have waited a couple more weeks. But obviously, I'm assuming what they've done here is tried to get a part of the Christmas market. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what they've done here, and I'm not sure I'm okay with that. But again, I haven't played it, so I can't. I'm just discussing it here, what other people are saying. So, what somebody else has been saying, if you follow Gameranx over on YouTube, Jake Baldino did one of his 10 things to know before you buy, and he was saying on there that life stories are quite short. Now, the life stories, for any of you who don't know what they are, you kind of get, in a very Dragon Age Origins sort of way, you can select your character's starting point in the game. So, if anybody remembers what they're called, that'd be amazing, because I've totally forgotten. Games journalism, I'm doing really well with it. But I believe there's 3 different starting points. One of them is like a street kid. One of them is Com or something. I'm not sure. Corp? Yeah, Corp. That was it. One of them is Corp. I think that's corporate. But they all kind of lead into the same story. So I think what you get, your life story, is basically the intro to your character. And apparently that's very short. But once it gets into the main story, it's complex and in depth. To back up one of those user reviews as well, he's saying that NPCs are quite lifeless, and some of the areas are just set dressing without much thought put into them, but it doesn't make it any less fun to explore. And that comes from Jake Baldino of Gameranx on his Before You Buy video, which you can watch the full thing here because he goes into a lot more depth. Goes into a hell of a lot more depth on this game, which we will also be doing on the Game Creator. As Jay Hellier here, he's going to be doing a deep dive on Cyberpunk 2077. That'll be coming to Gameranx to thegamecreator.com. Hopefully, how long do you reckon it will be? In a few weeks, maybe. What do you reckon your time frame is on that one? Just while he's typing that out, I do want to talk about a couple of different things as well. So there has been some controversy, not just with the bugs. We spoke about some of the bugs. We've seen some of that in the user reviews as well. How frame rates are absolutely god awful on the lower spec consoles. Weird to say that about PS4 and Xbox One. But yeah, base consoles are absolutely terrible. The bugs are out the arse. So play it on PC if you've got a good enough PC is basically what I'm trying to say. But one of the other things that has been a bit of a controversial topic at the moment, very soon. Okay, that's good. So go check out the GameCreator.com. Just whack. 1 to 2 weeks, want to see if bugs improve. PS5 crashes every hour and a half to 2 hours. I mean, that sounds like a similar experience to what somebody else was saying in those user reviews as well, that it crashes every now and again, which is a pain in the arse, really, because the last thing you want in a game is for it to just crash out. And I get that from other games as well. I get that from XCOM 2. That's one of the buggiest games. Very fun to play, but it's very, very buggy as well. So, what was the buggiest game you guys have ever played? Drop that in the chat. I'll have a talk about that in a minute as well. But at the minute, I want to talk about another controversy. So, it's rating. The rating is M for mature. So that's for anybody over 17. 17 plus, that's the age that they've put on it. But despite the fact that it's for mature audiences, for 17 plus, some parents are absolutely enraged that their darling little angels can see a penis in the game. And a vagina. You can see vaginas as well, but we'll get to that. My opinion on that particular point is that, I mean, don't give a mature game to your kid. You know what I mean? Young children aren't supposed to be playing it. It's why it's got the mature rating in the first place, right? So don't do that. Like this links into something else, another controversy that's been going on recently. A kid got banned on stream for playing Call of Duty Warzone. The reason they cited was because he was cheating. But he clearly wasn't. Everybody watching the stream was like, look, he's not cheating, he's just really good at the game. But it did open up the topic of whether or not he should be playing it anyway. And it's a fair point. Should he have been playing it? He was like 8 years old, and the game is for 18 plus. It is an 18 plus game. He shouldn't have been on it in the first place. So if they were going to ban him for any reason, they really should have banned him for playing it as an 8-year-old child. Because their end user agreement that you actually have to agree to when going on Warzone is that you are of age to play the game. So if any reason to ban him from the game, it should have been that, but no, they went with cheating. Yes, Inquisition on Xbox 360, that was absolutely awful. Australia, it's R18 plus, and you have to provide ID to pick up the game. Yeah, I mean, see, that's how it is over here in a way. It's a bit more lax, but they won't sell it to somebody who is under the age. Let's say that. They don't always check though. To be brutally honest, they don't always check. If you look young, they'll ask you. But if like you say you're like me, and you've just got a beard, and I know quite a few like 16, 17-year-old people who have beards up in Teesside. You know, it's very. To explain that particular bit, I used to work with kids in NCS, which is like a youth project type thing, and a lot of you have to be like 16 to get on it. It's like school leaver age sets you up for sets your CV up. A lot of those kids had beards, so yeah, if you got a beard or a mustache or something, they don't even question you. A lot of parents in the UK will buy the game, then give it to the... Yeah, that's true, because they don't check. Nobody checks. And then they get outraged that this game that they've bought for their children has a penis in it, or a vagina, or, you know, swearing or gore, and it's like, well, did you even check? Did you look? Did you even look at the age on the game? Like, even my mum was, and my mum was pretty lax in terms of things. Even she would say, well, it says it's for 18s, and I would have to literally fight to get the game. Be like, okay, yeah, but it's all right because I don't know. I'd come up with some bollocks excuse, but yeah, no, it was. Parents don't check. They're not supposed to sell games to people who have others that are under the game's age. It's usually at the discretion of the person selling, but it can be overridden by managers, and it generally is, because the managers have quotas that they need to reach, so they'll just be like, okay, the person buying the game is overage, so sweet. And of course, parents will just lie. They'll just lie, because they'll be like, oh no, it's not for the kid, it's for me. I mean, what are you going to do behind the counter? You've got to take the customer's word for it. Because, as they say in retail, the customer is always right. Bastards. Anywho. Yeah, so that's part of the controversy. The other part of the controversy comes from the actual inclusion of the penises and the vagina themselves. Now, please note, I said penises and vagina, as in singular. Because you can customise your penis. You can, I think, customise length, width, girth, you know, all that shite. And you cannot customise your vagina. Just one vagina, that's it. Just once you've chosen that, boom, customisation's done. So this has pissed some people off. Pardon the pun. This has really wound some people up because they don't feel like there's inclusion there, but there's not an equal chance of customisation. What are your thoughts on this? To me, I don't understand the customisation of the penis at all. I don't get that. I don't know why that's even included in the game. I don't know how, in any way, shape or form, unless there is a porno sequence, that it could possibly impact gameplay on a moment-to-moment basis. Or is there a particular moment in the story where it's relevant to have a massive dick or a tiny penis? What does it do? Why have they included that? It's a very unnecessary customization option. So anybody who has played the game, please tell me, has it at any point come up as to, like, and not in just a throwaway line. I swear to God, if it's just a throwaway line or some, like, background chatter, how has the penis customization come into gameplay? That was a very poor choice of words. Moving on. My God. Look, to me, I don't want to. I don't get it. Look, I don't particularly want. Like, what would you do? Why would you put it in there? Is it self-insert fan fiction for your penis? Is that it? I don't get it. I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to put my penis in a game anyway. So last time I did that, it got stuck and it was very painful. So that's not happening. But yes, I want to open this up to you guys now. What are your thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077? Has, if you've played it, are you having a good experience? Are you not? If you haven't played it, what's the worst thing you've heard about it? Or, alternatively, what is your favourite open world RPG that you've ever played? So just whack those down in the comments. Because I have one more thing to talk about, and this comes from Forbes, actually. So they were talking about an actively harmful skill perk. So this is from Forbes. This is December 13th. What's today? They released this morning, 10 a.m. GMT. Okay, and what they're talking about is, come on, there we go. There we are. They're talking about a skill that's actively harmful to your gameplay. Not sure about penis, but pubic hair is visible and you can customize that. Okay, still, I don't get that. That still makes no sense to me. So they're talking about the dagger throwing perk specifically. Apparently, with the dagger throwing perk, you could waste 1 to 3 skill points because you upgrade the damage that you do with the knife throwing. But there are no specific knives. There are not any throwing knives. You're throwing melee knives, like knives that you pick up for melee combat. And once you've thrown it, apparently that's it. It's gone. You can't pick it back up again. So no matter what the rarity of this dagger is, once you've thrown it, it's gone. You cannot get it back. So has anybody had experience? Jay, have you had experience with that? Is this a perk that you've done? Because it seems like a weird one. They're not sure whether or not it's a bug in the game or whether it was intentional. But yeah, it seems a weird one to say, okay, it's a perk, but you can't use it without losing equipment. It seems a very odd inclusion, but they've also apparently, as some suggestion, highlighted another harmful perk, and that's the auto dismantle one. Because once you automatically dismantle your junk, it's gone, obviously. And apparently, at the beginning of the game, if you put that in, it can lose you a lot of money, because much like a lot of open world RPG games, you can sell your junk and make a little bit of money on it. It also F's up a bit of crafting stuff, I believe. So, pro tip from a guy who's never played the game: don't get auto scrap your junk early in the game, because you will lose out on a lot of money, and apparently even quest junk that you pick up gets scrapped. So be careful on that one. Do not get auto scrap. Just do it manually, because you could lose important stuff that you actually need. But that's all I wanted to say really on Cyberpunk 2077. That's everything I've got written down. Can you see that? I prepared. Jay, I prepared. Isn't this weird? Normally I don't prepare shit. We've been trying to do a podcast for the last 3 weeks now, and every time... oh, you can reset your skill tree. Okay, so if you have accidentally got it, reset your skill tree, only if you're early in the game. Do you get those skill points back? That's a question, because I wouldn't want to reset my skill tree if, like, I'm going to lose all those points. Just going to... There we go. Come out of there. And we're going to see my face is massive. So, yeah, that's Cyberpunk 2077. I am... Yeah, so you get your points back. That's good, that's good. So, pro tip. If you've accidentally got that perk early in the game, or hell, if you've got it at any point, reset your skill tree, rebuild, avoid that skill. I think it may cost money though, but I'll have to try. Yeah, fair play. I think it might be worth it because apparently you do lose out on quite a lot. Important junk gets scrapped. I love that. I've just got AVG popping up saying that hackers know I'm in Preston. Well, they're wrong because I'm not in Preston. That's right, AVG. You dumbass. Righty-ho. So, that's what I've got prepared for the old streaming me bob on Cyberpunk 2077. So if you've had fun, please do give us a follow. If you want to see more like this, let me know, because I'm happy to like sit and talk about gaming topics. I can sit and have an opinion on them all day long, because I am a very opinionated person, and I don't necessarily need to know anything about it to just